You give everything. You show up. You listen. You understand. You hold space for their pain, their fears, their past. And somehow, you keep ending up with people who can't or won't do the same for you. You're not imagining it, and it's not a coincidence. If you're someone who feels deeply, who leads with empathy, who sees the potential in people even when they can't see it themselves, there's a psychological reason you keep attracting emotionally unavailable partners. And once you understand it, everything changes. This is why empaths and emotionally unavailable people find each other, and what you need to know to break the cycle. Let's start here. If you're an empath, you probably recognize yourself in this pattern. You meet someone. They're guarded, a little mysterious. They've been hurt before. They have walls up, and something in you says, I can help them. I can show them it's safe to open up. So you do what you do best. You give. You're patient. You're understanding. You don't pressure them. You create a safe space for them to be vulnerable, to heal, to let their guard down. And for a while, it feels like it's working. They open up just a little. They let you in just enough. They share pieces of their story. And those small moments, they feel like progress, like you're building something real. But then the pattern starts. They pull away. They go cold. They become inconsistent. They're available when they need something, when they're lonely, when they're hurting, when they want comfort. But when you need them, they disappear. They're suddenly busy, suddenly overwhelmed, suddenly not in a place to show up for you. And you stay because you understand they're struggling. You know about their past, their trauma, their fears. You can see the good person underneath all those walls. So you give more. You're more patient, more understanding, more accommodating. You tell yourself, they just need time. They're healing. If I'm just consistent enough, loving enough, patient enough, they'll eventually feel safe with me. And the cycle continues. If this sounds familiar, I need you to hear something. You're not doing anything wrong. Your empathy isn't a flaw. Your capacity to love deeply, to see the best in people, to hold space for their pain, that's not the problem. But there is something happening beneath the surface. Something you need to understand about why this pattern keeps repeating in your life. So the question is, why does this keep happening? Why do empaths and emotionally unavailable people seem magnetically drawn to each other? It comes down to three core psychological patterns that most people never recognize. Number one, empaths are drawn to emotional rescue. As an empath, you likely learned early in life that your value comes from helping others. Maybe you had a parent who needed emotional support. Maybe you were the peacemaker in your family. Maybe you learned that being useful meant being loved. This creates what psychologists call a caretaker identity. Your sense of worth becomes tied to how much you can give, how much you can fix, how much you can help someone else heal. So when you meet someone who's emotionally unavailable, someone who's clearly struggling, clearly in pain, it activates something deep in you. Not just compassion, purpose. You think, they need someone who understands, someone patient, someone who won't give up on them. And unconsciously, you're also thinking, if I can help them heal, if I can be the one who breaks through their walls, then I'll prove my worth. Then I'll finally be enough. But here's what's actually happening. You're not choosing a partner. You're choosing a project. You're not building a relationship. You're building a rescue mission. And the problem with rescue missions is this. They require someone to stay broken for you to feel needed. The second pattern that's usually seen is emotionally unavailable. People feel safe to empaths. I know this sounds completely backwards, but stay with me. If you're an empath who struggles with boundaries, who has a hard time saying no, who feels guilty prioritizing your own needs, then to you, emotionally unavailable people actually feel safer than emotionally available ones. Why? Because emotionally available people have expectations. They want reciprocity. They need consistency. They ask for what they need. They communicate directly. They create a relationship where you have to show up fully too, and that might feel overwhelming or even terrifying if you're not used to receiving. If you grew up learning that love means sacrifice, that your needs don't matter as much, that taking up space is selfish, then someone asking you to be vulnerable, to receive, to let them care for you, that feels uncomfortable, dangerous even. But someone who's emotionally unavailable, they're not going to demand too much from you emotionally. They're not going to push you to be vulnerable if you're afraid of it. They're not going to ask you to take up space in the relationship. It creates a dynamic where you can stay in your comfortable role, the giver, the supporter, the helper, the one who doesn't have needs. You get to avoid the scariest thing of all, being truly seen, being deeply known, and risking that someone might see all of you and still leave. With someone emotionally unavailable, you never have to face that fear, because they're never really there in the first place. Now coming to the final pattern, the addiction of inconsistency. Here's the hardest truth. Intermittent reinforcement is one of the most powerful psychological mechanisms for creating addiction. When someone is sometimes available, sometimes affectionate, sometimes open, your brain releases dopamine every single time they come back around. It's the exact same neurological response as gambling. You pull the slot machine lever, nothing, nothing, nothing. Then suddenly, jackpot. And that one win makes you forget about all the losses. It makes you believe that if you just keep trying, keep investing, keep pulling that lever, the jackpot will come again. That's what's happening in your relationships with emotionally unavailable people. You're not addicted to them. You're addicted to the hope that this time will be different. That this time, they'll finally be ready. That this time, your patience will pay off. And emotionally unavailable people often completely unconsciously know exactly how to keep you in that space. Just enough warmth to keep you hoping. Just enough distance to keep you chasing. Just enough vulnerability to make you believe you're making progress. Meanwhile, someone who's consistently available, consistently affectionate, consistently showing up, that doesn't trigger the same dopamine response. It might even feel boring, too easy, no spark. But what your nervous system interprets as boring is actually stability. What feels like no chemistry is actually safety. Your body has been conditioned to associate love with uncertainty, with working for it, with proving yourself, with never quite feeling secure. And until you recognize that pattern, you'll keep choosing people who make you feel that familiar discomfort and calling it love. So what do you do with this information? First, let me be absolutely clear about something. Understanding why someone is emotionally unavailable doesn't mean you should accept it. You can have empathy for their past. You can understand their trauma. You can see why they struggle with intimacy and vulnerability. And you can still decide that you deserve someone who's actively working on themselves. Someone who's not just open to love eventually, but showing up for it now. Because here's what I really need you to hear. Your empathy is a gift, but it's not a reason to stay in a one-sided dynamic. Your ability to see potential in people is beautiful, but potential is not partnership. Your capacity to be patient is powerful, but patience without reciprocity is self-abandonment. So here are 3 shifts you need to make to break this pattern. Shift number 1. Stop romanticizing emotional unavailability. When you meet someone who's guarded and closed off, your empathic mind immediately creates a story. They've been hurt. They just need the right person. They're worth the wait. I can help them heal. But ask yourself honestly, are they actually doing the work to become available? Are they in therapy? Are they actively healing? Are they reading books, listening to podcasts, working on their attachment style? Are they asking for your patience while showing genuine, visible progress? Or are they just existing in their emotional unavailability while you do all the heavy lifting? There's a huge difference between someone who's healing and someone who's just not ready. And you need to learn to tell them apart. Shift number 2. Get curious about why you're afraid of emotional availability. If consistently available, communicative, emotionally present people feel boring to you, if they feel like too much, if they make you uncomfortable, that's information. That might mean you have your own avoidant tendencies that you haven't looked at yet. It might mean you're afraid of being truly seen and fully known. It might mean you don't actually believe, deep down, that you deserve love that's easy, love that's consistent, love that doesn't require you to perform or prove yourself. Explore that. Journal about it. Talk to a therapist about it. Because until you become comfortable receiving love, not just giving it, you'll keep choosing people who can't give it to you. Shift number 3. Make reciprocity non-negotiable. Empathy doesn't mean accepting breadcrumbs. Understanding their why doesn't mean staying while they figure it out at your expense. A real partner meets you halfway. They communicate even when it's hard. They show up even when they're scared. They do the work on themselves, not because you're asking them to, but because they want to be someone capable of partnership. They don't just receive your empathy, they offer it back to you. And if someone isn't capable of that right now, you can wish them well. You can hope they heal. You can understand why they are the way they are. And you can walk away. Because choosing yourself isn't selfish. It's not giving up on them. It's not being impatient or unkind. It's finally choosing someone who's actually choosing you back. With this final note, I just want to let you know that you're not alone and you're not broken for having these patterns. I create videos about the psychology of modern dating and relationships, especially for people who love deeply and are tired of one-sided dynamics. If you want more honest conversations about attachment, boundaries, and what it actually takes to build something real, subscribe. And let me know in the comments, have you found yourself in this pattern? What finally helped you recognize it? I'll see you in the next one.